Whenever you come across this tarot reading, someone kept a secret. Now, sometimes things are private and sacred, not necessarily a secret. This is not one of those times here. Someone got some karma for dating multiple people at once, okay? Now, we do have karma, anchor, hold it together, getting a grip, heaviness or chained up, coffee date. It says dating multiple people, but then we have influences. Others involved, third parties. All right, now whenever you're watching this, it can be for you. The reading is general and timeless for all zodiac signs. And if you would like a personal tarot reading, a private session with me, or to download our Akashic Records mini course, check out the box below. It does have the website, 144bluerosetemple.com, and everything else it is that you will need. All right, what do we have here? It says revealing the truth. And then the past, okay, where this could be someone you've dated, past, present, or future. I'm going to hope it's not you on this end, but it's not. It's been more than once that this person has dated. They came across you, the divine feminine or the divine masculine. All of it, look at that, only you. There you go. Now, but until it came to you, you will send a player home crying, non-gender specific. You will send the player to God. That's your divine role. You send players to God, which it doesn't mean that you know, that always has to be your role. That's a tiring role, but they came across you. You were the last person that they could mix up with other people until it came to you. All right, where this person actually has a past of this. But this person was used to lovers or people, you know, who would take them back, who would accept it, who wouldn't care until it came to you. Now, for the collective today, for karma, dating multiple people, third parties, what is this karma here? Their karma is that they were forced to ascend. You know what I'm hearing? This person starts singing, I don't want to be a player no more. When I tell you send, and again, non-gender specific, you send players to God. Okay, we have ascending over here. Someone was used to dating multiple people, not being committal. You know, or maybe like if it wasn't, you know, full-on relationship, this is someone who's pretty non-committal, but they do it with manipulation and strategically. They're non-committal so that they could shop around. Why do we have karma here for dating multiple people? Why do we have karma for dating multiple people, third party? But I think the key thing here is also just truth, right? No lies. That's the thing, right? It's a secret. Just because you don't know something doesn't necessarily mean it's a secret in a bad way that we, you know, all may think of it. Now that is a not so great secret here. But it's a lie. That's the thing. You know, when you don't tell someone something, right? It doesn't mean that it's a secret. And then sometimes, you know, sometimes it really can be a lie. Where we have blind, searching for answers, blinded to truth, and then boundaries, no. It's different. It's not even the dating multiple people thing. You know, sometimes I'll get even people, like on the tarot readings that are poly and things like that, that's not what I'm saying here, by the way. And I hope that that's very clear. What I'm saying is when there's no communication. You know, where there are people out there that can live like this and, you know, it's the way that they live. You know, it's their relationship. It's their boundaries in their relationship. And, you know, not necessarily that there would be karma there. I don't know. But this is not one of those cases. This is a tarot reading that someone purposefully hid the truth from you. Where they were dating multiple people and they hid it. And so the principle of this tarot reading is it's not even of like sending the player to God or this or that. They can't lie to you. And it's because they lied to you. That's why this person's going through karma. Where if you're made aware of the situation, you can choose to leave or to stay. There was no option for you. You didn't know. And that could be a lot of different things here. Where, like physical right? If you're someone who's super sensitive to energy, yes, you can feel the energy of the other person. And, you're mixing up a whole lot of different energies and emotions and chords. And some people feel that, some people don't. Either way, they've done it more than once, and that's why they came across you, though. You're not someone to leave the details out. Now, why do we have no and then blinded to truth here? Why do we have no and blinded to truth? Because they were lying to you. They were acting single, and they had a poker face. So they're pursuing you. Which maybe they're even courting you. You may even feel like you're in a relationship with this person. Again, it could be past, present, or future. No, because other people, they don't know that you're in a relationship with them. This person is single when you're not around, but they're with you when they're with you. That's not cool. Unless, you guys have your own boundaries that you've set up here. We do have loyalty over here, trusting, reliability, and believing. Where with the loyalty card, it's the fact that they didn't tell you and give you the option. That's the loyalty here. Trusting, reliability, believing. Say if they tell you that they want to break, want to be with other people, whatever it may be, at least they told you. That's the key principle in this tarot reading. That they're pursuing you, hunting you down, and then to other people, they act like they're single. That's when it's not cool, It's not matching up here. So let's see what's coming through in the reading. What do we have here? What do we have here for this reading? For karma, dating multiple people. What do we have here for karma and dating multiple people? What is the collective's energy here for karma, dating multiple people? Why the Wheel of Fortune for karma, dating multiple people? What is this person's energy for karma and dating multiple people? This person feels like you're the High Priestess. I will say you had a glow up after this situation. The Wheel of Fortune, the Nine of Coins. So you actually had some good karma after this. Someone feels like they got served by the High Priestess here. Serve some karma. Why Six of Coins and the High Priestess? For karma, dating multiple people. Yeah, someone feels like they had to come back to balance after you. All right, so for the collective today, why do we have the Queen of Cups? Why the Queen of Cups for karma, dating multiple people? Why the World card for karma and dating multiple people? You don't hurt God's chosen. That's what this reading is about. The Queen of Cups started off happy. And then this, I almost want to say this beast, this monster, made her or him or they sad. This is where it goes deep. And this is a perspective that most people don't see when it comes to things like cheating and third parties. When someone has third parties or dating multiple people and cheating, and I will, with lies, again, if you're poly, then you're poly. Those are boundaries. There's nothing wrong with it because you guys are on the same page. If you're not on the same page, you're giving the chosen one bad karma for cheating on them. And you think it's okay because you didn't know that, you didn't think that deeply until you came across the chosen one, and that's why you came across them. It's so sad here, Beauty and the Beast, where you were so innocent, happy, joyful. This person broke you. But here's the thing, we talk about destiny swapping, things like that. You hurt someone bad enough, they have to now pick up the pieces. Now their destiny can be delayed, right? Which some people don't think that deep. It can be that deep sometimes. What if you got something because of this? You just affected my life, and for those of you who are super sensitive to to energy, spirituality, the unseen, It's like, yo, now I got to cut these cords. Now all these people's cords are all on me. Now I could feel all their energy. That's not cool. But again, people don't think that deeply. The principles of things of, number one, it was a lie. But then two, I now have to pick up the pieces. Now you're just on a healing cycle and journey for 3 months, 6 months, a year. That wasn't necessary. Not to say it wasn't necessary, like you attracted this for some reason. Maybe it was to finally cut that cord, not play the role of sending the player to God. It's a tiring role to play. You don't want to play that. But that's why they got karma, because they didn't think that way. Like, you hurt this divine feminine. It is the Queen of Cups, but it can be the King of Cups. You hurt this divine feminine to the point where they had to heal themselves from you, which now means that they're not as focused on their mission, their purpose, and take all words with a grain of salt. But they're getting karma because they put you in a cycle of healing karma. Why the World card with the Five of Cups? Why the World card and the Five of Cups? For karma, third parties. Why the World card and the Five of Cups? Think of it this way. This person, this chosen one, and I mean, we're all responsible for our own emotions and reactions, but if they, this is a lie, where, say you're thinking it's just you two and it wasn't the whole time. You ever had a heartbreak that you have to call out of work? That hurts, and that's what I mean here, where this player never thought about it this way until they came across the chosen one, which is you watching me. Because now you got to call out of work. Now you're showing up to work, and now you're not on par. And ultimately, it is really only on the individual, right? We can only control ourselves. But it's also very gaslighty to like, oh, well, I broke your heart and you should be fine. No, I mean, I'm not. I love, And that's what I'm seeing in this reading here. Now, why the Three of Wands for karma, third parties, dating multiple people? Why the Three of Wands for karma, third party, and dating multiple people? So there is someone moving forward here. We do have a Leo energy. We have Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. We do also have Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. Who is this King of Swords here? You have Eight of Wands in reverse. So Claire, who is this King of Swords here? Why the Eight of Wands in reverse? The King of Swords was being sneaky with the Empress, Seven of Swords. And it could have brought the Empress into a karmic cycle herself. And again, I am speaking non-gender specific here. But there's definitely, divine masculine, divine feminine here. So someone had to ascend because of this, where it actually forced a spiritual awakening upon the person who had the third party. Why the Three of Wands for karma, third party manipulation? Oof. All right, the person who had the third party here, they were forced into a spiritual awakening. Like, you really did. Chosen one, you sent the player to God kind of thing, to ascend. A different perspective. This is something a high priestess told me many, many years ago. And it's not in that sense. Like, how if I say, oh yeah, we're going to send the players to God, you may think that I'm saying that in a negative sense. And I'll give this from a extremely sacred feminine perspective, like a very spiritual, beyond all the human ego. That person is actually a king. Go send them to God so that God can crown that king as he, or say she, queen is, as they are. Because truthfully, you're not acting divine. And actually, you are a king or a queen under God. And so, yes, this person went through a spiritual awakening, but I will say, they're moving forward. Six of Swords, they're healing. There's things about work here, advancement. Queen or King of Coins. But I will say it was through love, where it's like, no. And it's not even like a shaming kind of thing of like, you were cheating or this or that. You're a king. Actually, you're a queen. And this, this is not actually your highest potential. So to reframe it like in that way. All right. So what's the advice? What's the advice here for karma, dating multiple people? What's the advice for karma and dating multiple people? I will say, now Libra, Gemini, Aquarius here. We also have Pisces energy, Sagittarius, Leo. This King of Swords ended up having a spiritual awakening. The Hangman, a shift in perspective, and then Five of Swords. Why Five of Swords for the advice here why Five of Swords for advice of karma, dating multiple people, third parties? They become a king or a queen by the end of this. They're reclaiming their divinity. This was a spiritual awakening. And when I say sent to God, I'll be honest here, I'm actually not meaning that, in like a petty, hateful kind of way. This person got crowned through this. And ultimately, isn't that what we would want and hope for people, right? Is for them to do better, to be better, and to rise better. Okay, yeah, this person became a whole new person after meeting you. That's what I have for you. I do hope that it resonates in a positive way. I'm sending you all so much love and so many blessings to your day.